All right, what's up, guys? Ooh, shit. What's up, guys? Larry here, and in this episode of Follow Focus, we're going to be talking about storing your film long term and why the fridge and freezer is your absolute best combination. So, since film is actually like a physical product that we use in order to take our pictures, you want to make sure that you're taking care of your film, especially because one, it costs money. Two, it may not be as easily available as digital is. You know, once you run out of film, you have to go out and buy some. And so a lot of people actually end up stocking up on film whenever they can get it at a good price or they can get it for a good deal. I'm one of those people. I have a fridge full of film that is just waiting for me to get to it. Now, here's the thing. If you plan on shooting film in, let's say, less than 6 months, I think the refrigerator is the best option for storing your film long term. If you have film that's on stockpile that you don't plan on shooting in the next 6 months, or at least in the next 6 months, you want to put it in the freezer. The longer your film is exposed to heat, the more heat damage it can take. Not necessarily, don't call it damage, just know that because film photography has a lot to do with chemistry, we're using chemicals to bring out the properties of the silver halides or the dyes if you're shooting color, that, you know, that process gets weaker over time, and heat actually makes it worse. So you need to protect your film from heat. So the two ways for doing it is, one, storing it in the fridge. I prefer using the crisper drawer because I know that I can put it in, I can push the drawer closed, and I can close all holes and make sure that there's nothing dripping into that drawer. And if you can do that, you've got a great option for your film photography. So the freezer is cold storage, Han Solo carbonite style storage for film. You can put your film in there, you can leave it in there, you can forget it, I think up to about 15 years for most films. As long as you're delicate with it and not throwing it around when it's cold, you should be fine. Even though your film is thin, it will not crack. As long as you treat it respectfully, you keep it in the freezer, you should be all right. Now here's the key though. When cold storing your film, whether that's in the fridge or in the freezer, the one thing you need to make sure that you do is you need to let your film come back to room temperature before you use it. Now, room temperature is the key. You can't just take it out of the fridge and say, it's cold, I'm just gonna throw it in, because when the film winds around the spools, you don't want it to take any unnecessary damage because of its temperature being so cold. It may not be as malleable as room temperature film is. You may take on some extra damage. There could be some water or condensation you might need to worry about. To avoid all of that, just take your film, put it on a counter for usually about an hour will do the trick, frozen or not frozen. I think about an hour is the sweet spot. But just to make sure, you would have seen this in the blog. Again, this is Follow Focus, so it's underneath the blog post. What you want to do is grab an object in your room that's already room temperature and then grab your film, and then you can compare the temperatures and say, okay, well, I can still tell this is a lot colder than this remote that I picked up, so therefore I'm going to let it sit for a little while longer. If you do it a day before, you probably have no worries. You know, you'll be fine. But again, if you're like me, you're getting into film, you're shooting a lot of film, and you're buying film in bulk whenever you see a good deal, or because I'm a big fan of Kodak Color Plus, whenever any store has it in stock, I try to buy at least 10 or 20 at a time because I see how quickly it goes back out of stock and I don't get it anymore. So I buy in bulk, and I need an option for cold storing my film. So again, I'll give up a couple of fruits and vegetables a day to have a crisper drawer that is available for film whenever I need it. And as long as you pull it out and let it sit at room temperature, you will be fine. Enjoy long storing your film, having film available at all times. Enjoy buying film at great prices. Just make sure you store it safely, store it cold, store it secure. Should be good to go. Again, thanks for watching this video. Again, Follow Focus is content that always supplements the blog. So once you read the blog post, you'll see this video usually sitting underneath it. So, you know, just extra content or extra tips from the guy who runs the blog. Part two, if you're finding this but you're not on the blog, hey, guess what? I have this really cool blog called photomelarry.com where you'll find nothing but great articles about photography and how to point cameras and have fun. See you later.